I'm moving over to this legendary trainer. Mzimasi Mnguni has died at the age of 72. The trainer has produced more than 10 of the greatest world champions since 1990, including Welcome Nita, Vuyani the Beast Pungu, and Mbulelo Slayer Potile. Masibulele Hawk Makepula is one of Mnguni's products, and to celebrate his life, he joins us now via Zoom. Now, Hawk, thank you so much for making the time. It is indeed a sad day in boxing. You've got quite a history with the late Mzimasi. Tell us a bit about him.
In Jesus' name, I greet you all. Thanks for having me, ENCA. This is a sad day, and these are sad news for us to lose an icon. This is an icon, a legend. You know, Rodney Berman is calling him a genius of boxing. Though he's been sick for a very long time, but he made his mark. He made his name. He didn't live for nothing. I believe that he has done everything that he was supposed to do in this earth.
Now, Hawk, earlier we spoke to boxing analyst Peter Liupeng, and his face literally lit up when he spoke about Mzimasi. Can you tell us a bit about some of your most memorable moments with him?
Firstly, I've met Brahms in 1988. I've started to be in his stable. 1988, I stayed with him for full 15 years. I remember 1988, I was going to South African Championships as an amateur boxer. I remember he gave us the provision. We were 9 boxers from his stable. That is one of the moments I remember as an amateur. And again, Brahmsy took me from the amateur side, and he made me to train with the professionals, being an amateur, but representing South Africa. We've traveled a lot with Brahmsy in a lot of countries. I remember in New York becoming the first boxer to fight in Madison Square Garden, bringing the world title, WBU world title. So, and I remember promising him when I came from Olympics, losing in the third round in Olympics. I promised him that within 24 hours, Brahmsy, I will bring a world title in this house. Then within 24 months, I bring a world title. So I became a multiple world champion under his guidance. And, you know, Brahmsy trusted me a lot, even by his boxers. He left his boxers. He took them, some of them, to be under my supervision in terms of discipline, and they were staying in my house. That is the level that Brahmsy trusted me with, and sometimes he was sending me to Rodney Berman to look for fights for his boxers. Or Sparks, Pamana, you know, and talking to him, telling him he must give Lindy a defense. You know, Lindy Memani is a former world champion, one of the former world champions. I was talking deeply with Brahmsy, and he was so surprised by me because some of my fights I was negotiating them by myself to Rodney. And maybe, let me say, Brahmsy will come and say, I'm fighting for 400,000. Then he will be shocked when I'm receiving 600,000, because I went to Rodney and tell him that, Rodney, I cannot fight for such amount. But he's a father. He's the father of boxing. We call him a father of boxing.
Now, Hawk, we've already mentioned all the champions, and you've actually given us really a colourful history there that Brahmsy has produced. And, you know, you've spent so much time with him. If you could pass on anything that he has taught you, seeing as though many are now going to miss out on his genius, what would that be?
Brahmsy, you know, he's a businessman. He's a businessman, and everything to him it's business, you know, and nothing he was taking easy or for granted, you know, and I learned to stand firm for what I believe. I learned from him. And what makes me to laugh more about this is because of he taught me to do like this, and then I experience and practice to him what he's been teaching me.
So just quickly, before we go, we have unfortunately run out of time. How would you like South Africans and the boxing community to remember Bramzi?
You know, it worries that someone like him achieved a lot, like, you know, made a lot of South African champions, a lot of international champions, a lot of world champions. But I believe that he is not recognized the way he was supposed to be. It's very painful in this country that we always recognizing people when they are dead, sorry. In their bad region in terms of status. So again, I wish it can make a wake-up call to South Africans, especially the Minister of Sport, knowing and recognize that he must recognize that there is not a single code that ever achieved more than boxing in this country. But though boxers are so poor, you know, though boxers are so, they don't take boxing serious. But it is this boxing that made this country to be in the map of the world, even up to date. You know, there is not a single country ever achieved like South Africa. I'm talking about a country, South Africa. Remember that is not a continent; it is a country. If you can say America has got a lot of countries, but South Africa received more than 50 world champions. But it is not recognized by our government, by our people. No, I wish it can be a wake-up call for South Africans. To put our sport, like, because boxing was number one before and went to number two because it was holding. We had fights that we were taking them to stadiums of Abo Happy Boy Mkachi, you know, and we thank God that our first world champion in Eastern Cape and South Africa is welcoming it. He opened doors for us through Rodney Berman, you know, and Bramzi. So we thank God for that.
Thank you so much for that. It's really been an absolute pleasure chatting with you. That was former boxer Masibulele Makepula. Stay with us.